Hello, friends! Today, Dobby and I decided to test our skills in a new Obby parkour in Roblox. This mode was designed especially for us. It looks incredible. All the obstacles are as bright as a rainbow, but it seems we're in for a serious challenge. Guys, give us a like right now if you think we can handle it.
Hi, everyone. Labrador isn't kidding. These rainbow platforms are stunning, but just try to stay on them. I already tripped on the first rainbow path, and it seemed to laugh at me. I hope we can get through all the levels without any losses. Labrador, are you ready?
Of course, I'm ready, Dobby. Although after the first jump, I felt like I was back in puppy school, trying to leap over puddles after the rain. But here, instead of puddles, there are entire oceans of colorful platforms. But honestly, it's so much fun that you forget how difficult it is.
I think I'm starting to understand why they made this mode for us, to test how we handle rainbow jumps. Labrador, did you see that narrow platform? It has already become my personal enemy. And these rainbow paths, they're like a rainbow ribbon, except you have to run on it instead of admiring it.
Yes, Dobby, this parkour isn't for the faint-hearted. It's funny how we, experienced sheriffs, are struggling with these rainbow stripes, but it sure lifts the spirits. Every time I manage not to fall, it feels like a small victory. Look, I finally jumped over that tricky rainbow.
Wow, Labrador, you're a real rainbow master, and I'm here trying not to slide off this spiral staircase. Well, friends, I hope you're enjoying watching us tackle these rainbow challenges. We won't stop until we reach the end.
And here we are again, almost at the end of this rainbow course. Friends, this is a real challenge for both of us, but it's so much more fun to go through all these obstacles together with you. I hope our falls and funny moments bring a smile to your face.
Absolutely! Every fall is an opportunity to start over and, of course, a reason to laugh. I just slid off this slippery rainbow path again, but I feel like I'm starting to become a real parkour master. Rainbow parkour has definitely become our new favorite game. What other Roblox maps would you like to see on our channel? Leave a comment and make sure to hit the like button.
Our Animal City has always been famous for its green parks and cozy streets, but one morning everything changed. I woke up to see that the rain had turned rainbow-colored. Everything around, from trees to cars, was painted in bright, shimmering colors. The water in the river became multicolored, and even the food in the stores took on rainbow hues. Our homes and buildings looked as if they had been painted with a magical brush. It was beautiful, but unnatural. Dobby and I realized that this was not just a natural phenomenon, but something more mysterious and possibly dangerous.
At first, we thought it was the work of some prankster or scientist like Professor Colorful, but it soon became clear that the reason was much more serious. We began our investigation and discovered that this was something new and unknown. We received reports from residents who had seen strange creatures resembling horned horses flying over the city. Then it became clear we were under attack by unicorns. These mythical creatures wanted to take over our city, and their power could change the entire environment.
As it turned out, the unicorns didn't just want to decorate our city. They wanted to transform it completely for their needs. We began looking for a way to communicate with them to understand their intentions and prevent a possible catastrophe. We found their leader, a majestic white unicorn named Astrid. He explained that their world was dying, and they were looking for a new place to live. They chose our city because it seemed perfect to them. But their methods were too aggressive, and this could destroy our way of life.
We realized we needed to find a compromise. We offered to help the unicorns find another place where they could live without destroying our city. Labrador suggested using the city's technology to create a safe and comfortable place for the unicorns. We worked together with city scientists and wizards to create a special sanctuary where the unicorns could live in peace and safety without harming others.
Our efforts were successful. We showed the unicorns the new place, specially created for them, where they could live happily. Astrid was impressed by our kindness and willingness to help. The unicorns agreed to leave our city and move to the new sanctuary. Gradually, the rainbow colors began to fade, and our city returned to its usual appearance. The unicorns, grateful for our understanding and assistance, promised to maintain peace and friendship with us.
So, we managed to prevent the takeover of our city and help creatures in need of a new home. This story taught us that peace and cooperation can solve even the most complex problems. The townspeople were happy to see the familiar colors return and were proud that we had dealt with such an unusual threat. Our city became calm again, but we will always remember the Rainbow Day when unicorns attacked us.
Recently, a true champion arrived in our city, a leopard named Speed. He was known in the neighboring towns for his outstanding results in races and sprints. His arrival was a real sensation. In honor of this, we decided to hold a city competition to see who the fastest among us really is. Our streets were filled with excitement and anticipation, but the most determined one turned out not to be me, but Dobby. He was set on winning, despite his usually calm nature. Dobby was sure he could beat the leopard.
Of course, I couldn't pass up the chance to show my speed, but I knew that I couldn't just beat a champion like the leopard without something special to give me energy. At the store, I found some energy drinks and started drinking them. At first, it seemed like a simple way to get extra strength, but with each sip, I felt my energy increasing. I was filled with confidence that I could win.
Everything was ready for the start of the competition. We began with a light warm-up, and I noticed that Dobby started to look a little unusual. His eyes were sparkling, and his behavior became much more energetic. He was determined. But when the race started, no one expected him to run so fast. Dobby not only caught up with all the participants, but at one point, he almost matched the leopard's speed. And in the end, he overtook him. Everyone was in shock. Even I, the sheriff, who was always confident in our city, couldn't believe my eyes.
After the win, I felt incredible. My energy was at its peak, and I was so proud of myself. But after a few days, I began to notice that something wasn't right. My energy didn't fade, and I felt really anxious. I couldn't sleep and felt a lot of tension in my body. Then Labrador insisted I visit the doctor. We went to see a rabbit doctor who was an expert in such cases.
The rabbit doctor immediately examined Dobby and ran some tests. It turned out that excessive consumption of energy drinks had caused Dobby's body to stop functioning normally. He was on the verge of exhaustion. The doctor prescribed rest, a balanced diet, and plenty of water to bring him back to normal. Dobby was a bit embarrassed, but understood that it wasn't wise to overdo it with such things. In the end, everything turned out fine, and Dobby became his usual calm and balanced self again. But now he knows that victories aren't just about speed, but also about taking care of your body.
Now I know for sure that health is more important than any victory. I won the competition, but I had to learn from my mistakes. Thanks to Labrador and the rabbit doctor for their help. Next time, I'll train for the competition the right way, without any shortcuts, just using my own strength.
Recently, a strange and terrifying story unfolded in our city. It all began when a new ice cream vendor appeared. He was mysterious and a bit odd. His cart was decorated with bright flags, and he always wore a black suit with dark sunglasses. But something was off. The townspeople started noticing that after children bought ice cream from him, they would disappear. At first, it was just a one-time event, but soon several children went missing, and it became terrifying. Dobby and I immediately started an investigation.
At first, we thought the children might have just run away or gotten into trouble. But the more we kept an eye on the ice cream vendor, the clearer it became that something was wrong with him. We noticed that his van was always parked in the dark corners of the city, and his ice cream had a strange smell. People said it had some unusual flavor, but no one could quite figure out what it was. I decided to take action. Labrador and I went on a night patrol to find out what was really going on.
We tracked him down and found the van on the outskirts of the city. Inside was dark, and the ice cream vendor was standing, laughing, and preparing something behind the counter. As we got closer, we heard strange sounds, like children saying something from inside the van. It was way too suspicious. We decided to act quickly to prevent any more disappearances. Dobby, as always, was determined, and we prepared for a raid.
We brought everything we needed to make sure the ice cream vendor couldn't escape. The van was full of frozen ice creams, but in one corner, we found a large freezer. To our horror, inside we found the missing children. They were in a strange trance, sitting in dark corners as if under hypnosis. It turned out that the ice cream vendor was using a special type of ice cream that made the children succumb to his influence, causing them to disappear and become his hostages. We quickly freed the children and called for help.
And so our adventure comes to an end, friends. Dobby and I managed to do so many exciting things, but now it's time to say goodbye. It's been an awesome time, hasn't it? Hello, friends! It's Sheriff Labrador here again with my tireless partner, Sheriff Dobie. Today, we've jumped into a totally crazy mode in Roblox called Shrink or Grow to complete the Obby. This is going to be a real puzzle challenge. Hit the like button if you love obbies and comment below who you think will complete all the levels faster, me or Dobie.
Hey everyone! Oh guys, this isn't just any obby. Here, you don't just jump over obstacles, you also have to change sizes at the right time. In some sections, you need to shrink down to the size of an ant to crawl under barriers, while in others, you need to become a giant to leap over massive gaps. It seems like we're going to need all our agility and cleverness to make it through this obby.
It all starts with a small level where we learn how to change sizes. There are magic platforms that either shrink us or grow us. And right from the start, it's clear that this won't be easy. You need to time your jumps onto the platforms perfectly to get the right size and avoid falling into the abyss.
The backstory of this mode says that this obby was created by a great scientist who accidentally mixed magic potions and created a world where size doesn't matter. His lab was filled with experiments, and eventually, the entire world turned into a maze with changing scales. Now, we have to navigate through his creation to find a way out.
But be careful, friends. The mode is full of traps, disappearing platforms, moving blocks, and even spikes that pop up out of nowhere. And the hardest part is choosing the right size at the right time so you don't get stuck or fall. Imagine, you need to shrink to slip under a laser and then instantly grow to avoid falling from high platforms.
There are even sections where you have to switch sizes mid-air. For example, shrinking to slip through a narrow passage, then quickly growing to leap over a giant gap. It's like an acrobatic show, but with elements of magic and awesome obby challenges.
We can get help from special power-ups, speed boosts, double jumps, or temporary invisibility to get through the toughest sections. But you still have to find those power-ups, and they might be hidden in the most unexpected places, like under a platform that you can only see when you're mini-sized.
And of course, at the end of each level, there's a big final jump that you can only make if you choose the right sizes in the correct sequence. It's like a true test of speed, reaction, and logic. Guys, let us know in the comments which size you prefer, tiny or gigantic. And Dobie and I are setting off on our journey through this incredible obby. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new adventures and escapes.
In some sections, you don't even need to grow larger. I just returned to my original size and easily got through it. Dobie, do you see this beautiful staircase we're walking on? It's painted in rainbow colors. Wow, it looks amazing.
Sheriff, look back. With each step you take, the staircase disappears. You're lucky you're moving fast enough to get through it. The best move here would be to grow bigger and start running as fast as possible, just like Sonic.
Oh, we've hit another staircase with waves. Let's grow larger here too and try to just jump over it. Guys, watch and remember these hacks. These Roblox modes really test your cleverness, and Dobie and I are super resourceful. We always find solutions to any tough challenges, right, Dobie?
That's right. Wow, this looks like a real water slide, just like in a water park, but without the water. By the way, I've often responded to calls at water parks. It's a place where anyone can easily get injured. We're not medics, of course, but we have to figure out how they got hurt. Who knows? There might be evil scientists or wizards at the water park. We're always on guard, keeping order.
Hey, have you noticed that with each level, the obby gets harder and harder? The traps activate faster, the platforms disappear quicker, and the gaps between them get wider. It's like the scientists set everything up specifically to confuse us. But we're not that easy to fool, right, Dobie?
Of course, we're real sheriffs. The key is to choose the right moments to change sizes. Labrador, it seems like something changes every time in this obby. I see some new paths that weren't there before. That means the further we go, the tougher it gets. But we're not giving up. The main thing is to keep our balance and remember to change sizes at the right time.
Dobie, did you see what happened to the town square? At first, I thought I was having vision problems or maybe I was just too tired. Imagine this. I'm walking downtown in the morning, and suddenly I see the statue in the square has grown to the size of a house. And just a little further, right across from the cafe, there's a tiny car, barely bigger than a toy. I couldn't believe my eyes. Was this really happening? Only later did I find out that it was all the work of an evil scientist. He invented a device that can enlarge or shrink anything.
Labrador, I was shocked too. When I saw that giant thing in the square, I thought it was some elaborate prank or a movie being filmed. But then, when I saw a giant mailbox fall right in the middle of the street, scaring all the passers-by, I realized something was really wrong. And the scariest part is that this scientist, Dr. Shrank, decided he could use his invention to establish a new order in the town. He enlarged everything he considered important and shrank everything else, as if he had the right to decide what the town needed and what it didn't.
Yeah, Shrank definitely got carried away with his device. He figured that if he made his invention known to the world, he could dictate terms, and the town would become his personal playground. At first, everything looked chaotic. Giant objects blocked the streets, tiny buildings got lost among huge bushes and benches, but when he enlarged the town hall tower so much that it blocked out the entire sky, that's when it became a real problem. We knew we had to do something fast, but it wasn't easy. Shrank's device was very powerful and compact. It could be anywhere.
Labrador, do you remember how we started searching for Shrank? We decided he must be hiding nearby to keep an eye on the results of his actions. We split up to search the area, and I found one of his hidden labs on the outskirts of town. It was full of all sorts of strange gadgets, and I almost stepped on one of his miniature robots that was patrolling the entrance. At first I thought it was just a toy, but then the robot started making alarm sounds, and I had to act fast to avoid causing a scene.
You did a great job, Dobby! While you were checking out the lab, I stumbled upon Shrank himself. He was busy checking the results of his latest experiment. He had shrunk the fountain in the park down to the size of a cup and was laughing like a madman. I decided to play it smart and started distracting him with conversation. I told him his invention was really impressive, but hinted that without his device, the town couldn't function normally. You should have seen his face. Shrank was beaming with pride. But as soon as I noticed that the device was on his belt, I knew this was our chance.
Labrador, you're a master at distraction. While you were talking to him, I managed to get closer and start deactivating his security systems. Those devices were set up to interfere with any attempt to get close to the main gadget. But luckily, I managed to bypass them using that miniature robot I had grabbed from his lab. And as soon as Shrank got distracted by your comment about the impact of his invention on the town, I made a dash and grabbed the device.
Yes, we defeated him there, but there was another situation related to this mode. It all started like an ordinary day. We were doing our usual patrol of the area when we suddenly noticed strange, shiny blocks appearing in the square, resembling those from computer games. I thought it was some new art installation or maybe an advertising stunt. But when I got closer and saw that the blocks looked like they were made of magical gold, I started to worry. Then we discovered that these were actual lucky blocks created by an evil wizard.
Labrador, it was incredible. At first, I thought you were joking when you said the blocks might be real. But as soon as I saw them up close, I realized they weren't just decorations. They had some kind of magical aura. As soon as we started investigating these blocks, something unexpected happened. One of them began to glow and emit strange sounds. We were lucky to be attentive. As soon as I touched one of the blocks, it opened up and a bunch of colorful sparks flew out. These sparks filled the air, and I knew we were in trouble.
Yes, and that was just the beginning. When we opened a few more blocks, it became clear that they weren't just decorative. Each block was somehow linked to the wizard's magic. One of them released actual fire elementals that immediately began wreaking havoc in our park. Another block triggered a snowstorm right in the middle of summer. We quickly realized that we needed to find a way to stop this magic and figure out how it all connected to the wizard.
Exactly. And you know what was the hardest part? Not just the blocks themselves, but the fact that they started attracting people's attention. Everyone began to gather around, and panic ensued. We tried to explain to people that these weren't just amusing toys, but a serious threat. Fortunately, we had a little time to figure out how to handle the situation. We decided we needed to find the wizard himself and figure out how to stop all these anomalies. But, as it turned out, he was aware of our interference.
Yes, the wizard was very clever. We started deciphering the note and realized that the wizard had left clues on how to neutralize the magic of the blocks. It turned out that each block was connected to a specific element: fire, water, earth, and air. To stop them, we needed to find special amulets that the wizard had hidden in various locations around the city. We managed to find all the amulets and stop the magic of the lucky blocks, and everything ended well. Thanks for watching and listening to this video, everyone. Goodbye for now.
I found 2 amulets, and Labrador found the other 2. It will be interesting to see what happens next. Stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye for now.
What? Where are we, Dobie?
I don't know, but it looks a lot like a children's room, with toys everywhere.
Wait a minute, it can't be. This looks like the Evil Doll's room. Hello, everyone! Today, Dobie and I are going to escape from the Evil Doll's house. What will we encounter?
And what awaits us will be a multitude of amazing and mysterious challenges. Our goal is not only to escape, but also to defeat the Evil Doll herself.
Just look at this room. It even has a special atmosphere that makes you start to feel like a child again.
I completely agree with you, Labrador. Today we will also plunge into childhood and explore the house of this doll.
So, it looks like we need to go through this small passage. The arrows lead to the house. Hopefully, the battle with the doll won't start too soon.
We picked up some candy. I wouldn't try it. She might have poisoned it. We need to find 10 of these candies.
It seems like we need to jump here. Let's postpone it for a bit and explore this house. Maybe we'll find something useful here.
Great. It wasn't in vain that we looked around. We found another candy.
Hooray! Checkpoint so we can die.
How much she loves herself, hanging her own portraits. I think you took your phrase too seriously. There was no need to die for a check.
I accidentally thought it was okay to walk there.
Ahead is another hole. Where are we descending to? It's like we're not far from hell.
Doesn't look like hell. It's a mountain of dishes here.
Listen, for me, a mountain of dishes is hell. I hate washing them.
And I'm the opposite. I enjoy it. I turn on my favorite playlist and sing along. It really lifts my spirits.
It's very strange. It seems like this place hasn't been cleaned in years. Maybe instead of washing dishes, she just buys new ones?
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I can't think of any other explanation for this mess.
It feels like we still have forever to go. I don't see the end in the distance. These arrows do have a mesmerizing effect, almost as if they're intentionally arranged to create an illusion or induce hallucinations.
Did you notice that in this room the floor is lava? But I see roses in this lava. It seems like these are hallucinations.
I see them too. Great, we've reached another checkpoint.
It seems like there's finally an end. Phew, I hope the next location won't involve parkour. I'm a bit tired already.
Some creepy toys, perhaps a demon has possessed them, or the souls of children are trapped inside them. Brr! Scary. By the way, did you know that in Poppy Playtime, the toys aren't actually bloody, but it's a mixture of red Poppy? I recently studied the storyline of this game. It's very interesting.
No, I didn't know. I'll definitely check it out in my free time, but just look at how we were fooled. It turns out we didn't see the real end, but now we can see the house in the distance. It seems like we should head there.
Let's hurry up then. I can even see a Ferris wheel. It's a very interesting location. I'd like the amusement park to be close to our police station.
Hey, Dobby, have you ever thought about candies?
Of course, Lab. Who doesn't love sweets?
True that. But do you have a favorite candy?
Well, I think my choice is chocolate candies with nuts. What about you?
I prefer caramel candies. They're like a sweet sound in the middle of the workday.
Agreed. Sometimes caramel can be a real lifesaver. But you know what's even better than candies?
I don't think anything can be better than candies. Well, maybe even more candies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the same page with you. Candies are just incredibly delicious.
You just look at her. Why is she sitting there staring at us and didn't even say hello?
It seems to me she pretended to be an inanimate doll, but was actually watching us.
Then it's even scarier. Maybe we need to walk around here and find a way to open the gates.
Here it is, the button. Looks like we need to press 3 of these.
It says you can hide here. Looks like we're about to face some dangerous challenge.
Let's go.
And here she is, descending on her long braids. How does she see anything with those eyes?
Oops, let's hide quickly. I want to watch her from a safe place.
Let's climb higher. Maybe she won't notice us that way.
Did you see that? Her braids just flickered past the room. I'd hold my breath.
We mustn't forget our current task, namely to press 2 more buttons.
It's good that we took a look around. It's never unnecessary. Actually, I see quite a few rooms here where we can hide, so this challenge will be very easy for us, especially considering that we have experience as sheriffs.
I constantly hear her whispering. It's very unsettling.
Oh no, she's behind us. We need to hurry and press this button and hide. Let's lighten the mood and ease the tension by telling the folks a couple of interesting stories.
Okay, let me get started. It was a regular morning in our quiet town. Sheriff Dobie and I decided to relax a bit and headed to our favorite corner cafe to enjoy some delicious donuts and good conversation. Just as we were starting to savor the aroma of fresh donuts, our tranquility was suddenly disrupted. We received a call from the evil ice cream vendor who allegedly hypnotized children with his ice cream and demanded ransom. Without hesitation, we abandoned the donuts and rushed to the scene. The situation was serious, and we needed to act quickly. Upon arrival at the ice cream stand, we found a group of children with blank, trance-like stares, as if they were indeed under hypnosis. We realized that the ice cream contained some strange component that affected the children's minds. Without wasting any time, we devised a plan. I distracted the ice cream vendor by asking him questions about his ice cream, while Dobie searched for and destroyed the source of the hypnotic influence. Thanks to our coordinated efforts, we were able to expose the villain and free all the children from his control. We apprehended the ice cream vendor and handed him over to the police.
Great story, Labrador. In the meantime, we've passed the first mini-challenge and are tackling the parkour again. Let me continue our tales. Waking up to the unexpected sounds of fireworks, I immediately sensed that something was amiss. After all, it was still early in the morning, and such loud noises didn't fit the usual order of things in our town. Getting out of bed, I realized that I needed to check what was going on. Stepping outside, my nose caught something strange. The smell of smoke and fire. Sheriff Labrador, my faithful partner, was already waiting for me outside my house, and his expression said it all. Something serious had happened. Following our instincts, we decided to investigate the area where we heard the fireworks. Soon enough, we found the source of the smoke. A warehouse storing goods for our town was on fire. We quickly approached the scene and began unraveling the puzzle. The traces left at the crime scene told us that it was the work of malicious criminals, unwilling to bring anything good to our town. Gathering all possible evidence, we concluded that our task was to find the culprits and prevent further attacks on our community. Thanks to our efforts and meticulous investigation, we were able to track down the criminals and arrest them before they could do any more harm.
Dobie, you remembered another captivating story as well, but I can already feel that we're close to our goal. The final battle with the boss, the evil doll, is just around the corner. But before that, I want to share one more of my stories. After a long and well-deserved break, when Dobie and I finally returned to work, I felt full of enthusiasm and ready for action. However, to our surprise, the first few hours on duty were completely calm. Not a single call came in, and I began to find it suspicious. Suspicions grew when I noticed that our antenna wasn't transmitting signals. Apparently, something had happened to the wires. We started checking and found that the wires had been chewed through. The culprit turned out to be an evil raccoon, who clearly didn't want us to receive calls and be able to help people. Realizing immediately that our communication was disrupted, I pressed the SOS button to alert the other sheriffs about the problem. We couldn't afford to leave our town unprotected due to unexpected technical issues. Soon after that, the calls started pouring in one after another. It was obvious that people needed our help, and there was no time to waste. Dobie and I immediately headed to the scenes to assist those in need.
Oh my God, while you were telling us your story, we've already started battling the evil doll. Let's give her a fight.
Did you see how that giant candy nearly hit us on the head? We need to not only aim at it, but also dodge its attacks.
She seems to really love sweets. How is she not stuck in another place? Oh, she's a doll.
Shoot more accurately, our shots are missing.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
By the way, Dobie, have you ever thought about the harm of sweets?
Of course, Lab. Sweets can be delicious, but they can also be harmful, especially if consumed in excess.
Exactly. I've noticed that lately our residents have been consuming too many sweets. This can lead to health problems, especially for children.
Yes, and not just for children. We need to inform our citizens about the importance of balanced nutrition and limiting the consumption of sweets.
Agreed. Let's organize a campaign to educate people about the dangers of excessive sugar consumption. Together, we can make our city healthier and stronger.
Yes, we did it. Well done, Sheriff Labrador.
Hold on. Maybe we haven't won yet. I'm not quite sure what she's doing right now.
It seems like I understand what's about to happen, and I'm glad about it.
Oh my, what a ridiculous death. It must be quite embarrassing, especially considering she almost had us for dinner.
Absolutely! It's time to celebrate our victory for real now!
Sometimes even the cringiest dances feel like a victory lap, don't they?
I agree with you, but it's still good that other players don't see it.
It seems like we've reached the end of this place, which means it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching us escape from this house today, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, don't forget to suggest other Roblox places for us to play. We're not saying goodbye. See you later.